What's good, YouTube? Super Insane 18 here, bringing you our first episode of Road to Ranked. Now, this is a series that's actually going to replace Showdown Sunday, because I now have it set up to where I can record both gameplay and facecam at the same time. That was really all Showdown Sunday was a placeholder until I got that set up, so now that we're able to do that, let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, we're going to use the same team that I used for the first episode of Showdown Sunday. That's probably going to be the first two episodes of this series, is redoing those teams in actual gameplay. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to run some battles, we're going to maybe climb in the ranks, maybe decline in the ranks. It really just depends. We're going to pretty much just see how it goes. So the first team here, we've got a Charizard, a Raichu, a Primarina, Gengar, Dracozolt, and Urshifu. No idea whether it is the water or dark one. I think we might be pretty good leading the Sneasel Colossal. The only way that really hurts is if he brings the Primarina and maxes it. We should be able to go faster than it and one-hit KO it. We are going to bring the Gastrodon in the back in case that is the Water Urshifu, plus it has the Earth Power for the Gengar and the Dracozolt, and the Raichu, I guess, as well. Good coverage against the Charizard. And I think our last one should be the Morpiko's kind of not great. He's got the Raichu. Let's bring Cobalion. I think that's some pretty decent coverage there. Plus, if we have the Sneasel, we can still go ahead and beat up onto it. Now, you will notice that I did change the Weavile to a Sneasel. This is to prevent the fake out. Sneasel gets inner focus, so it can't be flinched, which means we will still get our move off into either the Colossal or the Cobalion. So let's see what he leads. He's got the Primarina and the Urshifu. And it looks like it is the Dark Urshifu. So like I said, unless he maxes the Primarina here, I think we're in a good position to just surf and then max Overgrow. So let's go ahead and do that. Unless it's Assault Vested, then I don't think we take it out, but this should be okay. Let's see, so my Colossal should be faster than it just because I'm max invested in speed. So if it is going to max, we should see it after this. Alright, no, okay, he is maxing something. If it's the Primarina, we're probably in a bad spot. Okay. So that's unfortunate. I probably could have brought out the Gastrodon in place of the Sneasel and prevented any sort of damage, because he's probably going for the Geyser here. The good news is we break the sash on the Urshifu. Usually that's what's sashed. However, kind of debatable. He does have a Gengar, so the Gengar could be sashed as well. Really just depends here. Let's see if we can maybe get lucky. Okay, so yeah, we do a little bit over 50. That would have guaranteed the KO if he didn't max. Let's see whether or not he goes for the Geyser. I don't see why he wouldn't. But maybe he thought that the Urshifu was enough to take it, and he might have Starfalled into the Sneasel. Oh, it looks like that's actually what happened. Okay. Okay, so we're actually not in a bad position. Do I think the Rockfall, or rather Volcalith, can take out the Primarina? Because I want to get that set up, but I'm going to go down this turn anyway. So let's go ahead. We'll Triple Axle into the Urshifu. And even if this doesn't KO, we'll at least set up the Volcalith for the next 5 turns, which gives us residual damage on my opponent. Kind of a bad play on his part, not just going for the kill. Maybe he predicted that I would switch in the Gastro, and he wanted to get the Gastro out with the Starfall. Okay, so we force him to remove the Primarina, because he knows that it's going to go down this turn. Let's see, so he sends out the Dracozolt. So I don't think that this KOs the Dracozolt. I don't know, I'm +2 because of the weakness policy. Sucker Punch is not going to be enough to take me out, thankfully. And, okay, it does take out the Zolt. So now we're in a really good position. We're going to get that residual damage off. We're going to get a little bit of healing, so I don't think a Sucker Punch will take me out again next turn. So it looks like we're actually getting the maximum amount of value off of this Colossal here. And the Urshifu gets hit really hard by the triple axle. Do the rocks take it out? They do. Okay. So yeah, I think we're in a pretty golden position here then. We can take out the Primarina. He kind of wasted his Dynamax by switching it out, but I understand. He wanted to preserve it. He knew that it would go down if I did another Overgrow. So I think what we can probably do here... Okay, absolutely, yeah. We're just going to drop some rocks on the Charizard, take that out. I don't think anything... Yeah, my Sneasel has nothing I can do against the Primarina. The triple axle is probably going to do the most damage if I hit all three, so we'll go for that. And then we will drop the Volcalith on the Charizard, and that looks like it's going to be a semi-clean win for us. We'll probably lose the Colossal here, but I'm okay with that. His Primarina is going to have to run through 3 more of our Mons. Well, technically 2. He's probably going to Hyper Voice and take out both. But I'm pretty sure we can get that. The Primarina is going to be really low after this. We hit all 3 on the triple axle, and actually I think it's in rocks damage anyway. So we're going to go down here, both our Sneasel and Colossal. But the rocks should take out the Primarina, and if they don't, what I have in the back will get us the win. Alright, and there we go. We have our first win. So, I think the mistakes that my opponent made were taking out the Primarina. Now, maybe it's Assault Vested and it didn't have any sort of protection on it, like Protect or, you know, whatever. So it probably didn't have Max Guard, because what I think I would have done in that situation is Max Guard on the Primarina, and then Close Combat again into the Colossal, then Sucker Punch it if the Close Combat didn't kill, but based on the range I was at, it should have killed anyway. So that would have put him in a much better position than me, and then we would have been able to, or rather he would have been able to probably seal the win. Switching out the Primarina and wasting that Dynamax is really bad. Anytime you're forced to switch out your Dynamax, I feel like you're just losing so much momentum that it's just not worth it. I'd rather sacrifice the Dynamax and do something somewhat relevant than just lose it entirely. Alright, so we found another opponent. Looks like he's going to be rank 5,627. Let's go ahead and jump in. So he's probably going to do the beat up strat on the Terrakion. Looks like he's got the Alolan Persian for that. We've got another Primarina, but he's got multiple Mon that are weak to the rock. So I think that we still lead Sneasel Colossal. Let's go ahead and bring Gastrodon, because it's good against the Terrakion, the Arcanine, and the Talonflame. And I think the last one I want to bring is the Morpeko, just because I want something that can hit the Talonflame and the Primarina really hard. Well, do I have anything that can one-shot the Terrakion? Because I could lead the Scrafty to fake out the Alolan Persian. You know what, let's try something different. This entire series is about learning and trial and error, so let's see if we might be able to do something cool. We're going to lead the Scrafty Gastrodon and max the Gastrodon. We'll bring the Morpeko because it's still good against some of the things in the back, and we will bring the no, the Colossal's not worth. We'll bring the Cobalion here. So let's go ahead and see if our trial can produce any results. So the Scrafty lead is really good against both the Persian and the Talonflame. Okay, so he leads Talonflame, Darmanitan. The Darmanitan's not great, but we can we can get rid of the Talonflame here. I don't think we'll max the Gastrodon just yet. We've got the Intimidate on the Darmanitan, so we should be safe for at least a little bit here. So I can just Fake Out and Muddy Water, and that should take out the Talonflame, do a good amount on the Darmanitan, and then we prevent him from getting Tailwind, which is phenomenal for us. Because if he's got that Terrakion in the back, that can run House under Tailwind. Okay, so he went for Earthquake, but he's intimidated, and it spread damage. Yeah, I didn't expect it to do that much. Looks like it did about even on both of my Mon. This Muddy Water here, let's see. Alright, does take out the Talonflame, so that's good. And then we should just be able to Drain Punch onto the Darmanitan with the Scrafty to get that KO, unless he maxes it. But he's got the Primarina here, so he might go for the Moonblast. I'm actually not great on speed tiers, so I don't know if the Primarina outspeeds me. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to Earth Power into it, maybe get a special defense drop. Okay, so he withdrew the Darmanitan, sends out the Persian. This is going to do some good damage because the Persian's Dark type, so fighting's super effective. Okay, he is faster. We do have the Roselli Berry, but we have already lost some health. I don't know if we can live this. Okay. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we know all of his Mon now. He didn't bring the Terrakion. I feel a little bit safer with that. And now the Morpeko can come out and clean up the Primarina. The only way this doesn't kill the Primarina is if he maxes. I'm going to go ahead and... does Persian get Fake Out? I feel like it does. I'm going to max the Morpeko. We're going to Lightning into the Primarina, and let's go ahead and Earth Power into the Persian. Stab damage, potential drop. I'm faster, obviously, so we're going to see my Dynamax go first if he did Dynamax. I feel like he might be holding it for the Darmanitan, but I didn't want to take the chance with the Primarina. So, let's go ahead and just clean up this Primarina really quick. Plus, this prevents me from getting faked out if the Persian... Yep, okay. So maxing was the good play, because then he could have just dropped a Fairy move into us, and because we are Dark type, it would have killed. This guarantees the knockout on the Primarina, and we're going to get some decent damage on the Persian. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to do like a set amount of battles for this series, or we're just going to go until I hit a certain timer, or what really the deal is. More so, I'm just here to put out some content for you guys, make some enjoyable battles for you to watch, and we're going to see where it goes. I don't know if it's going to be one continuous, you know, just start to finish, if I'm going to cut to show you guys the best battles that I get. It really just depends. So let's go ahead, we'll Darkness into the Darmanitan and just another Earth Power. I think he has to max the Darmanitan here, otherwise he just loses out on his Dynamax. I don't see the Persian doing anything scary at this point, honestly. The Darmanitan might be able to take out the Gastro with like a Max Hail. I don't think he can take out the Morpeko. But I'm going to be 100% honest, I'm really not amazing with my calculations, so that's why this is a learning experience. We're going to see what happens, what doesn't. So he Snarls, doesn't affect the Morpeko because it's physical, so I don't care about the special drop. The Gastro kind of hurts, but I still think I take out the Persian from the range that it's at. Oh, okay, so he's got the Quake, but I'm no longer Electric type, I'm just Dark. So, okay, it doesn't matter. He's just going to destroy me anyway. So that leaves me a little bit scared of the Darmanitan, especially because we've got the Cobalion in the back. So that Quake is probably going to really hurt. The Cobalion is Assault Vested, so I don't have Protect or anything to mitigate that damage. And with the special... yeah, okay. So I think here I'm stuck going for Muddy Waters, which isn't great against the Darmanitan. But he's going to be forced to hit the Cobalion here. Whether he does a Quake or a Knuckle, I think the Cobalion drops. Let's go ahead and Iron Head. No, we'll close combat in case we live. It's the stronger move, it'll KO it. And let's fire off a Muddy Water. It should take out the Persian, do a little bit on the Darmanitan. With any luck, we can get a accuracy drop, which doesn't really matter while it's maxed. But he would only have one turn of max after this. I can protect with my Gastro. He shouldn't kill me through a protect. I've got the Citrus Berry to heal me back up. And then hopefully we'll be okay from there. Okay, so he went for another Snarl. Unfortunately, another drop on the Gastrodon. The Muddy Water should still take out the Persian. It's super low. I do get a Justified boost on my Cobalion, so if by some miracle I live, then we're in great position. He did activate the Citrus Berry, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident with the Gastrodon. Oh, I was faster. Okay, so yeah, okay. Like I said, not really familiar with speed tiers. I figured the Darmanitan would be faster than my Cobalion. I don't think the +1 attack on the Justified mattered. I think the close combat killed anyway. I might run the calc after the video and put it on screen. But there we go. We've got another win under our belt. This is why I love this team. This is the team that I've been using to get to Master Ball tier for the last couple of months. It's just something that's kind of really well-rounded. It's got something for everything. And yeah, if this video is received positively and enough of you like it, I can also go ahead and put a rental code in the description later on. I didn't mean to check his team. Let's go ahead and just keep running them. I'm feeling good. We've got 2 wins out of 2 battles. Let's see where this goes. Alright, so he's got a Rotom Wash, a Clefable, a Urshifu, again we don't know if it's water or dark, a Gengar, and then a Dusclops Rhyperior, which Dusclops Rhyperior is always a threatening lead. Trick Room is a little difficult. I think what I want to do based on the team is lead Scrafty and Morpeko. Morpeko's got super effective damage against a lot of things on his team. The Scrafty has the Intimidate for either the Urshifu or the Rhyperior, plus it's super effective on the Rhyperior. It's something that I really need to get out of the way. Bring the Gastro because it's good against the Rhyperior, and I can eat up any sort of water moves if it is a water Urshifu. And I think Cobalion is probably the best option here. I don't think bringing the Colossal or the Sneasel is really helpful in this match. The Colossal, if I were to max it, could actually hit the Rhyperior for immense damage. Rhyperior's got really bad special defense, but I don't think it's worth it because of the Trick Room. At least this way I can hit everything decently hard. Trick Room's honestly just a strategy that I personally struggle with always, no matter what team I make, even if I make a team to specifically counter it. Trick Room is just one of those things that I as a player need to get a little bit better at understanding. Okay, so I think his strategy here was to get Trick Room off regardless, because both of these Mon get Trick Room. So I think to mitigate the Gengar, we can't fake out, so we can go for a Snarl. Or do we Lash Out and just try to get the kill? I think we Snarl, and then let's go ahead and Crunch into the Dusclops slot. With any luck, we can get a defense drop. Okay, the taunt is a little strange. I don't know what setup move he was expecting the Scrafty to have. Maybe he didn't want me to taunt the Dusclops. Okay, so we do get a defense drop, which is good. That means we can probably take it out on the next turn easily, but he does get the Trick Room up. I'm not too worried because we're getting a drop on the Gengar, so nothing that the Gengar can do can take us out. The Snarl does get disabled. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. He could definitely do ally switch here, or even swap it out because of the defense drop. I think regardless what we do is we just hit a dark move into both slots. I don't want to use Aura Wheel because it will raise my speed. Actually, does that matter? I'm already the fastest thing on the field other than the Gengar. If I can manage to survive with the Morpeko, the increased speed will help me after Trick Room. So let's go ahead and do that. Yep, the Rhyperior coming out, just what I thought. This means I should probably switch out my Scrafty just to get a Intimidate off on this thing. Hopefully I can kill the Dusclops here so he can't do any sort of like bulldoze shenanigans on the next turn. With the defense drop, I'm pretty confident it'll go down. Okay, cool. So that's one of the strong points of the Rhyperior Dusclops, is Dusclops can bulldoze, making the Rhyperior slower in Trick Room, plus activating its weakness policy and just making it a massive threat. At this point, I don't think there's anything I can do other than switch out. Okay, it is a water one, so I think we can switch this into the Gastrodon. So let's go ahead and switch into Gastro. And then I think we just let the Morpeko go down here. We can try to Aura Wheel into the Urshifu. But I think that the Rhyperior maxes here and probably Quakes into the Morpeko slot, which I'm fine with, honestly. If he Quakes into the Morpeko slot, I get to switch in my Scrafty again to intimidate the Rhyperior. And then, in theory, I can kill the Rhyperior on the next turn. I think a Muddy Water and a Drain Punch should take care of it, especially if the Urshifu goes for a Water move here. Then I get this +1 on my Gastrodon. I haven't maxed yet, so I think maxing the Gastrodon on my next turn might be the play. What slot is that into? Oh, he went into the Gastro slot, which, a little unfortunate. How much damage did that do? I think it left me at 55? Yep, okay, 55. So that did 100... Bad at math on camera, great. Okay. I think if I max, I live another Quake. And if I... Well, no, I'll live the other Quake if I max, definitely, because I'll have the Scrafty to intimidate. And then I think a max Geyser will 100% take out the Rhyperior here. Not sure what the Gengar is going to be looking to do. At this point, I feel like Gengar's done its job. So, I think he just wanted to get the Urshifu out. Let's go ahead and max the Gastrodon. We'll Geyser into the Rhyperior slot. And we can go ahead and... Honestly, I want to lash out into the Gengar. I think that will seal this battle. At that point, the only thing I have to worry about is the Urshifu in the back, which with the Gastrodon, if I can keep it on the field, mitigates all of his water moves. Typically, the only move he has other than water would be Close Combat and Protect. So I'm pretty confident here, especially because I believe Gastrodon would 100% underspeed it in Trick Room, meaning that I will go faster. He is going to get some boosts here, but that's okay. I still think we take out because of his just laughably bad special. Alright, this should take out the Gengar. Gengar's pretty frail. Alright, there goes Gengar, and then with any luck, here goes Rhyperior. Something about seeing a... Oh, okay. So it didn't take him out. Interesting. And there's the weakness policy, so that puts him at +1 attack. I think what we can do here, because we know that the Scrafty is slow, we can Drain Punch into the Rhyperior and do a decent amount of damage. How many turns of Trick Room? This is the last turn of Trick Room. So I think our play is actually to guard the Gastrodon. He can't set up Trick Room anymore and Drain Punch the Rhyperior. That will mean after the Trick Room, our Gastrodon will be faster than the Rhyperior, and in the rain, a Muddy Water should definitely take it out. This prevents the Rhyperior from killing the Gastro. Looks like he just decided to go for the Scrafty anyway, so maybe a bad play on our end. We could have probably just gone for the Geyser. I figured he would want to get the Gastrodon out of the way. Unfortunate, but that's what it is sometimes. You just got to make a prediction, and if you're right, great. If you're wrong, just keep rolling. Alright, so Trick Room should be done. I'm not sure if the Urshifu can one-shot the Gastrodon. I think what I have to do is Muddy Water Geyser into the Rhyperior slot. And I want to bounce, but if he has Protect, it's entirely worthless. Not very effective. I think we just close combat into the Urshifu, honestly. We're pretty much banking on the fact that the Gastrodon can live a close combat from the Urshifu. This is probably a bad play. I probably should have just doubled into the Rhyperior. But like I said, this is all a learning experience. Okay, so the Rhyperior protects anyway. So doubling into it was a bad play. Close combat into the Urshifu, that doesn't do a lot. Okay, but we do know that we're faster. He's going to close combat. Do we live it? We live on 1. That is incredible. Okay, can we take it out with a Geyser in the rain through a Protect, but +2 defense? No, okay. So that is unfortunate. I think that means that we lose, honestly. We can Muddy Water here. I have to try to take out the Urshifu, but we just saw that the close combat didn't do enough. So that makes me want to close combat the Rhyperior to get it out of the way. We can try to maybe get lucky with a flinch, which honestly I think that's our only chance of winning, is getting lucky with the flinch. We know we're faster, so he can't use Aqua Jet because the Gastrodon would get stronger. We got the flinch. Oh my god. I think that means that we win here. Okay, that is phenomenal. There was no way that we won that without the flinch, because there was nothing that our Cobalion could do to kill the Urshifu, which means that the Urshifu could have gone into our Gastrodon, the Rhyperior could have then gone into the Cobalion, and the Cobalion was weaker because it got defense drops, and we would have lost. The only way we won that was on that lucky flinch, and that's incredible. Alright, looking at the time of the video, I think we can go ahead and just run one more. I'm actually super impressed at how well that we're doing. You know, I'm no professional. I'm just, you know, I'm a regular guy trying to climb the ladder, and we're just winning out here. Let's see if we can get one more win for the first video. Ooh, this guy's pretty high in rank. He's 366, and that is a very familiar team. That is actually a team that Cybertron played in some of his videos. So I believe he's probably going to lead the Klefki, and probably going to use the Zoroark as a facade for something else, usually the Dracozolt. That being said, I'm really tempted to lead Gastrodon Morpeko, just to make sure he can't Thunder Wave anything, but I don't feel like that's a good idea. Maybe Sneasel Cobalion is a good idea, because like even if he leads the Gastrodon, the Assault Vest should let me live a Flamethrower. And then we definitely want the Gastrodon in the back. It's good against a lot on his team. And then I think the Morpeko as well, if not just for the Primarina, for the fact that it's fast and can do good damage on several different things on his team. So let's go ahead and see what our last battle brings us. Alright, versus Thibaut, or Thibaut. Let's see what he leads. Alright, so Klefki Noivern. I'm kind of inclined to believe that the Noivern isn't actually a Noivern. I think our best play here is to go ahead and beat up for the boosts. Like I said, I don't think there's anything that the Zoroark can do to one-hit KO us. And then let's go ahead and actually Airstream. Just in case it is a Noivern, this will get us a little bit more on par with speed. Granted, if he Thunder Waves us, it doesn't really matter anyway, but I think an Airstream with +4 attack should kill anyway. Regardless whether or not it's a Noivern or a Zoroark. Obviously, unless it's Sash, but I think if I remember Cybertron's team, the one that was sashed was the actual Noivern, not the Zoroark. So if this is the Zoroark, I think we're in a okay position. Okay. So he's maxing it, which leads me to believe it is the Zoroark, probably trying to go for a max flare and KO the Cobalion. Okay, so Metal Sound, which kind of sucks, but we do have the Assault Vest. I think we can still live a max flare. Plus, I actually think we might be faster than a Zoroark. Again, I'm not really great at speed tiers, so we'll see what happens. The fact that we're going to get a +4 here just in and of itself is good. Unless we just die immediately, in which case, oof. And moment of truth. This is the last one. Who goes first? The Noivern / Zoroark or us? Alright, looks like we are faster. So +4, I think this should take it out. Oh. Okay, so is it the Zoroark, though? It is the Zoroark. So we got Metal Sounded as long as we can live a max flare, which with the Assault Vest I think we can. Okay, no. Unfortunate. So he hit the 80, I think it's 85% accurate Metal Sound and got the KO. But that's okay, we know that Sneasel is faster. I don't necessarily know if he's going to Thunder Wave me, but I can send out the Morpeko. Because the Morpeko's immune to the Thunder Wave, and then I should definitely take out the Zoroark here. I don't think that the Zoroark can live. And then we can try and Triple Axle, or the Triple Axle's not effective on the Klefki, but I don't think we really have anything else. Is it worth switching? Honestly, yeah, let's go ahead and switch because we'll be immune to the Thunder Wave, and let's just Aura Wheel into the Zoroark. I don't 100%, well, no, okay, so the Sneasel would be good if he brings out the Dracozolt later on, because the Triple Axle will do a ton of damage, especially if it's not maxed. He goes for the Dazzling Gleam, unfortunately not great for the Morpeko, but I think we're still okay. We're going to go ahead and Earth Power into the Klefki slot, and then, like, I know that this isn't very effective, but with how low it is and the fact that it's just so much stronger, I still want to Aura Wheel. It'll get me the speed boost, which is good. But I think I just go down to a Dazzling Gleam here anyway, if I'm being honest. So, unless I can manage to somehow KO with the Gastrodon if I move before it. But either way, I think I take out the Zoroark. Okay, so he's going to opt to actually hold on to it. which is interesting. So let's see what this Aura Wheel is going to go hit. So it's going to hit the Primarina, which if we can not die to a Dazzling Gleam here by some miracle, is good for us on the next turn. Yeah, okay, with the amount of damage that did, I would have definitely KO'd the Zoroark. Yeah, we go down to a Dazzling Gleam, which is unfortunate. Let's see how much the Earth Power does. Okay, so Earth Power is a one-hit KO on Klefki's. That is definitely good knowledge moving forward. The Sneasel's going to be faster than whatever he brings out, unless I think the Porygon is, like, scarfed or something. Okay, Noivern. I'm actually not sure about that speed tier. What I think I want to do, though, is let's go ahead and Ice Beam the Noivern with the Gastrodon. And even though it's resisted, let's Throat Chop the Primarina to prevent it from firing off some Hyper Voices. I don't think it would Hyper Voice here anyway, staring down a Gastrodon. But there's really nothing better to do. So Flamethrower probably into the Sneasel. I am Scarfed, so I will survive that. Throat Chop does good damage for being resisted. It's going to Moonblast. Does it go? Okay, so we doubled into the Sneasel, not really fearing the Gastrodon. The Gastrodon, though, I think is a threat, because honestly, even though the Muddy Water is resisted by both of them, because yeah, the Noivern sashed, so I'm going to Muddy Water to take out the Noivern. When the sun's up, it's going to kind of suck. I still think I have to, though. Well, how long is sun up for? This is the last turn of sun. I think I can actually protect here to play out the sun, and then a Muddy Water on the next turn will at least do a little bit more to the Primarina than it would in the sun. Like, it's resisted, but you still want to try to get as much damage as you can. So we see that the Noivern is going to be going for taunts, and I think, unfortunately, we can't win this. The Primarina has the Energy Ball. That will kill us. Kind of makes me want to Earth Power the Primarina, just in case we can outspeed it. I don't think we can. We know that the Noivern's going to taunt here. The Primarina's faster, and that should be a dead Gastrodon. Yep, okay. So, I'm not upset about it. He was pretty high on the ranking. I think it was 366 or something. We won the majority of them. You know, taking one loss isn't going to end our career. But there you guys have it. If you liked, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see any specific Pokemon, any specific team, anything that you want featured. Just go ahead and let me know, and I'm happy to bring it. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching.